Hey, Don. Hi, Don. This is Larry. Nice seeing you.
Please stand. Fellow Rotarians and guests, welcome to the Rotary Club of Pleasanton,
the world's greatest Rotary Club.
This meeting is being recorded and will be available for viewing on our YouTube channel later. I would like to welcome all the visitors we have here today. We hope you enjoy the meeting. I'd like to thank our greeter, Jim Hansen, and today's attendance taker, Clark Pan. Thanks, guys. Also, Dennis for collecting the money and getting it checked in, and Ricky for running our technology. Our pledge today is being led by Mr. Dick Stafford.
Please the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Very good.
Thank you. Pass the test.
Very good. We're supposed to say very good.
Today's week here will be led by Grace to.
Excuse me, Bill.
Each.
Bill?
Hey, hang on, Bill. You got something?
Eric Martin has said that he has a We Care request, but cannot unmute himself from Zoom. That he typed that into a chat. So if you could try to unmute Eric somehow.
Sorry, I can't. He's got to do it.
Oh, he has to do it himself. Okay, Eric, you have to unmute yourself.
Push down on the space bar, Eric. And hold it while you talk.
So, well, anyway, he typed that into the chat, so maybe he's gone. I don't know, but I just wanted to alert you to that. So let's just proceed.
Great, thank you. For our inspiration moment, one time per month, we are asking one of our seasoned members to come up here and tell us some of the stories of the past of this club. Some things that maybe some folks that haven't been around as long don't know about. So Bill Burke is going to kick that off.
Thank you. It's kind of interesting to research memories. I guess that's what this is all about. So I took a little memory trip through my many years in Rotary. I became a member here in 1978. I joined Rotary for the first time in 1968. So I've been in a number of Rotary clubs. And looking at those memories, I had to sort out the different clubs that I belonged to. But it wasn't difficult to focus then on our club. My first work day with Rotary was probably February 1979, when we went out and we planted trees in what is now Ken Mercer Park. How many people were there that day? I don't see any hands going. The city doesn't. There's Jackie. Yes, always. He's been here forever. Forever and ever. The city doesn't provided the trees, and we went out in groups of 3 per hole to plant the trees. And we planted probably more than 50, probably more like 60 trees that day. And as many times as I've driven by that park, I've always thought, "Golly, we did that." It was great. And we teamed up, and as I said, in groups of 3. Warren Ennis and I were in that group. I can't remember who the third person was. I do remember Warren's admonition. When you plant a tree, you have to fertilize it. And he insisted that one of the 3 of us take turns peeing in the hole. We didn't do that. Although back in those days, we were all an all-male club. And you roll downtown as I go downtown, continually reminded of most projects you have. One that surprised me, after walking by it for half the day, it was 4 years on my morning walk, I realized that there's a project under the Helen Singer And I don't imagine many of you have seen that. Some of you may have worked on it. But the club put in a retaining wall to protect the path that goes under the bridge there. And when they put the cement blocks in place, they offset them so that you can, if you look really closely, you can see the word Rotary. And I can't imagine, I walked around by that so many times, and I really never saw it. But moving past all those brick projects, oh, I could ask a raise of hands for everyone who knows what a blue dot is. We've got a few. Yes, this morning on my walk, and I wonder if they're still around. And sure enough, I counted a half a dozen. Blue dots are placed by the fire department next to, or across in the middle of the street wherever there's a fire hydrant. And we spent one Saturday morning driving around Venice Hills, I recall, putting those blue dots in place. The president at the time was Chris Miller, and he's ever since, by those of us who recall, referred to him as Colonel Blue Dot. He was out there managing the whole thing with his military experience, so it's no fooling around. One of the greatest memories I have of the many Christmas dinners we had for seniors. My role was kind of unique for those Christmas dinners, and each one of us had something we did every year for a lot of years. I was responsible, along with one other person, to deliver turkeys to members, and the members cooked them and then took them down to the senior center to be served. Jared Johnson and I did that for 3 or 4 years, and Jared is no longer with it. But then Bud Early took over, and he and I delivered those turkeys. One year we had 30 turkeys, but usually more like 22, 24 turkeys to deliver to people. Now, that was an interesting experience in itself. I've seen more Rotarians in their sleepwear than one could shake. It's unbelievable. There was one morning that Bud and I would probably let you know about if you can remember who it was, but one Rotary wife showed up in her baby dolls when we were at the doorbell at 7 o'clock. But it was fun. And we enjoyed telling one another lies for a couple of hours as we made the trip around town to the turkeys. Before we delivered them, and by the way, we picked those up from Safeway, we donated them for years and years. And they were supposed to be taken out of the freezer the night before, so they would be partially unfrozen. We picked up, and sometimes they weren't. But we picked them up and we took them to Joni Field's house, into her kitchen, where we opened them up and took all the stuff that they stuffed inside those, you know, the necks and the gizzards and all those kinds of things, before we took them out. So Joni Fields was out there at 6:30 in the morning, starting to work on those turkeys, getting them ready. She took the stuff that we left with her to make the gravy. So I guess she boiled that down to get some kind of thing. Those of you who were part of that scene will recall the fun in the kitchen. And I was there with the kitchen crew, but I got there before the Bloody Marys ran out. And sometimes they were gone by the time I got there. It was pretty obvious by the joy that was being But not that there, we used to serve wine. And we could get boxed wine and put it in carafes and take it around the tables. And our only problem was some of these little 80 and 90-year-old ladies could really put that wine on there. But and apparently something occurred along the way so that we couldn't serve wine anymore. I think somebody got a little sloppy. And then the health department came in and said, we shouldn't serve food that's been cooked in all these different houses. And so we couldn't do that anymore, so we had to change. And it got to the point where we were expensed out of the whole budget. But it was a great, fun kind of thing that we did for a lot of years. I have a lot of fun memories from demotions. Now, Rotary is unique because you don't install people and put them up on the pedestal. We just say, hey, here's the gavel, here's your job. And at the end of the term, we demote them, just to let them know that they're not special. They're just like all the rest of us. And in the process, we have a lot of fun doing so. typically, in the past, we would find the past president for every little thing that they did that we could think of that could be considered as strange or wrong. The one demotion I really enjoyed a lot was that of Dick Carroll. How many people knew Dick Carroll? He was high school principal at Bush Hill at the time. Dick is a sailor, isn't anymore, but he had a sailboat and spent a lot of time in the water. So we needed something that had to do with water. So somebody got a canoe, and we used the Yule house up on the hills of Wilford Hill and their pool. And we put a canoe in that pool and put Dick in it. And as we roasted him, each time there was a fine, and typically in those days, the Rotarian's spouse was supposed to bring $200 so that they could pay fines. Every time he was fined, his wife Sally would dish out the money, and she was supposed to get a bucket of water and pour it in a canoe. Well, she couldn't do that, so he had to do it himself. And we went through the $200 worth of fines, and canoe wasn't sinking. And so finally, and people were trying to get waves in the pool. Finally, they decided he had to do it himself. So he filled up the canoe until it sank, and that completed his demotion. It didn't complete the party though, because those who attended poolside parties for a number of years would know to expect that Fanny Annis would get in the water. And sure enough, somebody hollered, "Fanny, you're going for a swim?" And she said, "Yeah, fully dressed, mind you, and hose, heels, the whole works for a nice outing." In she goes to the pool. And didn't have to know Fanny really enjoy that much.
Hey, Bill, that's all we have for time.
Yes. I think that past presidents will always have a challenge of trying to come up with something really creative and memorable as we demote. And we're going to demote 2 people here for long.
That's all we have for time, Bill.
I guess, although there were a number of items.
We're gonna have to continue this.
I thought I was leading. Comment there. We may put him in the agenda. Give a big round of- There are so many stories that we all want to hear about, but we do have a program today, so we're gonna move forward with our meeting. Thank you, Bill. Let's welcome and introduce visiting Rotarians in the room. Steve, would you like to introduce?
Yes, President, fellow Rotarians, we have 2 guests from the Dublin Rotary Club. I would first like to introduce Jennifer Pringle, and she is a realtor at Better Homes and Gardens. Please give it up for Jennifer. The CEO of the second best chamber of commerce in the Tri-Valley. We got used to with the Dublin Chamber of Commerce.
Welcome, ladies. We're happy to have you here with us. Any other visiting Rotarians in the room? Pete, would you like to introduce?
I would like to introduce from the Dublin Club, past president and electoral contract, Bob Tutnut.
Any guests of Rotarians? Okay, and we do have a student of the month, and we will get to that in a little bit. I'd like to welcome and introduce those on Zoom. I think we have a few Zoomers today. Larry, you want to say hi again?
Yes, good afternoon, fellow Rotarians, President Bill and Don Lewis. Nice to see you, Don.
Jeb?
Hello.
Jeb's here. He said hello. Don Lewis and Julie Lewis. Nice to see you. And Eric.
User error. I did figure out how to unmute.
We knew that, Eric. We knew that.
What's your week here? Yeah. Want to share that?
So the the board and the Spirit Run committee decided to give the excess t-shirts that we'd been storing to homeless. I was able to deliver the last group of that, and I've had several texts that if anybody wants to, I'd be happy to share. But there's been stories of the woman that we gave them to has been able to go out and give them to homeless people. And she talks about one man here who needed a double XL. We gave him some double XL shirts. He only had one shirt before this. She gave him a couple. He now, has shirts to keep himself warmer. She says people are using them to sleep in as pajamas. They're very, very appreciative of getting them. So I thought I'd tell the rest of the group that I think that worked out extremely well.
Great, thanks for doing that. Looks like Tom Fox is on as well, or he was on, no, he's not.
He's gone now.
He's gone.
Well,
Okay,
and like-
moving right along.
Like that, he was gone.
Our song today, I mentioned earlier that we're honoring Black History Month with our song in our video today. So we will hear a Don Lewis song. And he recorded it and placed on YouTube.
Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Swing low, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me. I looked over yonder and what did I see? Oh, coming for to carry me home. A band of angels coming after me. You're coming for to carry me home. Sweet, oh, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Sweet, oh, sweet chariot, coming for to carry me home. Sweet, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet, oh, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. I'll be there before I do, coming forth to carry me home. Tell all my friends I'm coming forth to carry me home. Sweet, oh, sweet, oh, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, sweet Lord, sweet chariot, sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Sweet Lord, sweet chariot, coming forth to carry me home. Swing low.
Very good.
When I was putting the agenda together for the meeting this week, I discovered that video on YouTube, and then I did some more research about that song. And it was believed that that song was written by a Black ex-slave named Wallace Willis in the late 19th century. And one interpretation of that song is that it's about abolition and being rescued from slavery. In this case, Swing Low is the call for the abolitionists to visit the southern United States where the slaves were being held, coming forward to carry me home. So that's the message that I got out of wonderful how Dawn performed it. It was synthesized.
Way to go, Don.
So why do we wear a Rotary pin? Well, Rotary asks us to, okay, but when we wear this pin, wherever it is on my shirt here, we're publicly displaying to the world that we're Rotarians, you know, and I encourage you to wear your pin, not just to your meeting here, but when you're out in your everyday life, because somebody might ask you, well, what is that? And then you can start talking about what we do here. We do good and we have fun, and we want to encourage new members to join us. And what a great way to spark a conversation than to wear your pin. I'd like to ask a couple people to come up and make some announcements, Randy Brown and Steve Baker. And then we will follow those two with Student of the Month awarded by Jim Hampson. And then we have some traveling Rotarians who will be up here as well. Start off with Randy Brown.
Thank you, President Bill. Steve, would you like to go first this time since I stole your thunder last time? I'll be more careful this time. There you go. That's why you'll go last. Sleep in Heavenly Peace. This is a great organization. It's a nonprofit. Actually, I just invited him to come speak with us. He has a volunteer day. Area 4 is doing a volunteer day that we are participating in with PNR. And that is going to be on, it's going to be 9 to 12 and 1 to 4. We need 2 shifts for March 19th. We're going to be building beds for kids that need beds. And then also we have, I sent out an email, hopefully you all saw it. We have a double demotion dinner coming up. We're going to be and that was a perfect intro into it. Thank you very much about the demotion dinners and a lot of fun that we've had. I need help though. I need some material. I sent out an email and I got a lot of great ideas. Thanks for doing it, but nobody said anything about what we could use to roast Ricky and roast your Ginger. We want to make sure that we have to call the fire department.
Roast away, baby. Roast
Exactly.
away.
We want to roast away. And I do have a we can do that too. We can put them in.
I'm not much of a sailor though.
And that's going to be on March 22nd. It's at Sidetrack. Also, I need you guys to RSVP how many of people are coming so we can be prepared for that. So please send me an email on that. And then we have our poker tournament coming up on Friday, May 20th. And I'm going to be needing baskets for that. My wife will do the baskets for you guys if you want. She's always done that in the past. It's about $100. And she can put together a really nice gift basket that we can auction off or do for raffle tickets or raffle prizes and stuff. So there'll be more about that as we get closer. Thank you very much.
All right, our Paint the Murals project with Goodness Village, which is a tiny homes community in Livermore, is March 12th from about 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. And we're looking for 30 people, 10 per mural. Basically, the murals will be outlined like a coloring book, and we just paint between the lines. So I think everyone here is capable of doing that. We'd like you to participate. Right now, we've got 14 people, so we've got about half the people we need. 12 from our club, 1 from PNR, and 1 from the Tri-Valley Evening Club. So we've opened it up to the other 2 Rotary groups in town because we want to make sure we can get people. We were just talking with, I guess, a woman from Interact from high school. So we may have some high school students join us as well. But we want to make sure we can get a good turnout so we can get these murals completed. And then we'll have some evidence of our creativity and good we've done in the community. Any questions? All right, that's it for me. Thank you.
And it's on the red badge checklist if you're a red badger. You see that yellow thing, Bill? You're supposed to.
Mr. Hanson, would you come up front here? Bring your student of the month and the parent. We have Emily Yang from Amador Valley High School, and she is the recipient of our Student of the Month award, and Jim is going to present that.
Thank you, President Bill. I'm proud to, first of all, introduce Michael Jaramillo, who will introduce Emily and her dad, Michael. He's the vice principal at Amador. Well, I think it's athletic director too.
That is correct. Thank you, Mr. Hanson. Good afternoon, everyone. Yes, my name is Michael Jaramillo. I'm one of the vice principals at Amador Valley High School. And I just want to thank the Rotary Club for honoring our Student of the Month, Emily Yang, for all of her accomplishments. She was nominated by Mr. Abel, and he wrote a few words I'd just like to share with you. Not only is Emily the president of the music department and helping run all of the events for orchestra, jazz, and choir, she is also the president of the Interact Club. The Interact Club is dedicated to community service, education, mental health, and social issues. The club has recently done a gift basket drive, a book drive, and the Rotary Vietnam Project. Thank you for considering this outstanding student, Mr. Abel. So I know Emily would like to share a little bit more about this basket drive and its success.
Yeah, so if you don't remember, I came here with my other co-president, Joanna, and we actually introduced a bunch of baskets for you guys. And we also made over $500 in support of sex trafficking victims and other victims in India, Vietnam, places that are affected by human trafficking and sex trafficking. So we really are so grateful for all the support you've given to our club. And I would also like to thank the administration at Amador for providing me the opportunity to demonstrate my leadership abilities. And also I would like to thank the Rotary Club for providing not only the students at Amador and Foothill the opportunity to show their leadership, but also interact as well and being able to collaborate with us for such amazing opportunities globally. Thank you so much.
And Emily, do you want to introduce another person?
And I'd also like to introduce my dad, Jin Yang. He works in Menlo Park, I believe. And he's really excited to be here today.
And Emily, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton, the world's greatest Rotary Club, we'd like to give you a check for $100. And we'd also like to give you this replacement check for the baskets and a certificate celebrating you being the student of the month. Congratulations.
Can you hold up the certificate? It's okay. There we go. Very nice. Thank you.
Congratulations. Now I would like to invite Pete McDonald and Sandra Leftley to the podium. They've been traveling and they want to talk about it. Not together. So I've already mentioned that my wife and I just went to Egypt and Jordan, but I got presents for President Bill. And here we have some wonderful mud soap from the Dead Sea. The women who got it from our group said it really works great. And so I thought I could bring that. Mud soap, okay? But now here comes your dilemma. I got two beautiful trays, and I asked my wife to choose one, and I would give the other to the Rotary president, and she said,
I love them both too much. I can't decide. This is alabaster, this is polished onyx. So you get to decide and my wife will take the other one.
She probably wants to keep all of them.
Probably true.
So you have a Starbucks card in there, right?
This looks really cool. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, well, thank you. Come over to my house and steal it. Okay. Sandra. Your turn.
Our trip was from LA to Miami, and we stopped at 3 places in Mexico. And then Guatemala said, sorry, you said you could come, but we decided you can't come this time. So we had to bypass Guatemala. We went to Costa Rica. It was beautiful. One of the prettiest places I've ever been. We got to see crocodiles and turtles and those beautiful birds and went on a wonderful water tour. Then we learned as we left there on our way to Panama that Colombia didn't want us either, although they said probably we could probably work a deal out. And so the captain and the company said, no, thank you. So we had a great beach party on board. But instead, they took us to Panama City, which is an amazing place. I had no idea. It's absolutely huge. And we saw this great big island. I don't know if anybody else has been to Panama City, but when you come into the dock, you see all these high rises. I said, oh my God, it looks like Dubai or something. And come to find out, they're actually all housing thousands and thousands and thousands. I don't know how many people are housed in all of these, and can't imagine the traffic what it would be like. But it's still very beautiful. And then we went through the locks, which is an amazing experience in itself. It's pretty cool. And then we came through Jamaica and came on to Miami. But we had it was one of those bucket list things for us, and we really had a great time. So my first thought was that, and I got this for you, I saved you a bunch of the chocolates that we got on the hill every night. So there's a nice assortment here for you, and a pen. But when we were in Panama City, it was the only time we really had the opportunity to do shopping. So I actually got you something that I think you would probably use. And it's a wonderful set of help me coasters. They're great. They're really great. So I thought, hey, you can actually put those out and use them. But and the other thing I was thinking of is giving you a lot of pictures of me and all the places I went. But I had that idea too.
Well, thank you, Sandra. Well, how wonderful. I love COVID ending. People are going to travel. I still have a few months left.
I forgot, I want to give $100 to wheelchairs.
And $100 to wheelchairs.
Hey, good job, good job.
Thank you, Pete. Thank you, Sandra. Our video today is with respect and honor for Black History Month. So please check this thing out. It's about contributions that African Americans have made to our society. Short and sweet. Today's speaker was scheduled to be the Chief of Police of Pleasanton, David Schwing, and he called 2 days ago and said that he could not be here today because they're doing a press conference at 2 o'clock about the shooting that happened last week, and he needed to be there early and prepared for that. So I was bailed out by Dick Stafford and Nancy Harrington, and they're both going to give 10 or 12-minute presentations about their respective committees that they run. Dick Stafford will start with wheelchairs, and then we will follow that with Nancy Harrington and scholarships. So without further ado, Dick, are you ready?
Thank you, thank you. I've been wanting to do this for a while. It's been a long time since I had a chance to talk about the wheelchair program and stymied by the pandemic and not being able to travel and having difficulty with transportation issues and so forth. But I'm glad to be here to talk a little bit today. It'll be kind of a hodgepodge of things. We intend to get up here and speak more frequently to keep abreast of what's going on with this support program. It's really our club's longest running international program. We became involved in it back in 2003, as you know, by the urging of Bob Athenauer. And I think Larry Annis and I are the two longest standing members of the project who are part of the original group. The current committee consists of myself, Larry Annis, Bill Wheeler, Grace Nash is our newest member. Grace, welcome. Bill Burke and John Patton. John Patton, is he here today? I think I did see him, John. Great. So we're glad to have you part of the program. We are looking for 1 or 2 additional members. So if you have an interest in wheelchairs and want to join us, that'd be great. See me afterward or see me anytime. This program, again, as all of you, I think, know, is in partnership with the National Philanthropic Wheelchair Foundation that was founded by Ken Berry back in 2000, I believe. And so they're really the driving force behind the wheelchair program international. Our role is to manage the funds that come into the wheelchair account. We have a separate account at Heritage Bank that maintains the funds that we use to fund the project. Our role is to determine the locations, where are we going to deliver wheelchairs, who are we going to work with. That's a primary function. And then we also will hold occasionally some fundraising activities because our money stream consists of donations through the foundation. We're one of the major recipients of funds from the foundation. We also receive individual contributions. And then, as I said, we go out and raise funds to make it happen that way. And we're looking at the potential of the fundraiser coming up in this year, July, August, and it will probably be at one of the wineries. We've done that once before. We don't raise a ton of money, but we do raise some, and it is beneficial for the program. So we're looking at doing that probably in August of this year. One of the other functions that we like to do, and we'll be able to do again once we can travel, is to accompany or send a delegation to the location where the wheelchairs are being received. And their function is, most of you know this, as I look around, we've got a lot of seasoned people here today. I don't know how many new members are out there. By the way, how many of you have gone on a distribution wheelchair? Great. So you all know what kind of an experience that is. And so hopefully we'll be able to do that again. There is a small opportunity now. We had, as you know, again, the distribution to Lansing, because of the Athenauer family's generosity, we held out some wheelchairs for that distribution so that we can send a delegation. They're going to do a remembrance for Bob down there in April. That's scheduled for, I think, the 3rd week in April. We'd love to have a couple of people from this club join us.
This is kind of a joint venture between Rotary clubs, other service organizations in Tulancingo, and the Sister City Group. So anyone that's interested in making that trip, let me know. If we do go on to distribution, again, I'm putting this all together because I was trying to focus this at new members. I look around here today, there aren't a lot, so I'm telling you things you probably already know. So what does it cost? Each wheelchair, the cost of each wheelchair varies depending on what the market is, and that is covered by the Wheelchair Foundation. The cost to us to have a wheelchair in our names is $150. It's at that rate, and it's been at that rate for quite a while. For a donation of $150, you get a recipient plaque with your name and the name of the person that you so designate that recognizes you made a contribution in their name and contains a picture of a recipient. So that's still at that same level and has been for quite a while. It's going to change. The cost of wheelchairs is going to go up. So we're going to have to contend with that as time goes on. We are, as I said, we're in the process of finalizing the distribution to Tulancingo, but we've also begun the process of funding the next container, which will be going to Villa Hermosa. That contract is in process. We expect it to be signed and funded. Again, we're looking at delays because of the pandemic and backup in supply chain issues and so forth. So rather than being a 4 to 5 month turnaround time or 4 to 5 month lead time, we're looking more at 6 to 8 months. So at best, we're going to have wheelchairs ready for delivery midsummer, July, August of this year, but we're hopeful we'll get to that point. We're also looking again at the next possible container. We're going to have to find a partner to do that. The way we fund these is at times we're able to foot the whole bill ourselves. But for this next one, we're going to have to find a partner who can contribute monetarily to making this possible. And we are already in the process of evaluating that and trying to come up with those. So that's a quick update of where we are. It's a great program. We've now delivered over 6,000 wheelchairs since the inception of the program. And it's been a godsend. For any of you who have gone on these trips, you know what a life-changing experience it is for anyone that's got a wheelchair. And it leverages itself because not only does it benefit the person who gets the chair, but it benefits their family. I've seen situations where there's an individual who has never left the room or the one-room little hut that they've lived in their whole lives. And with the advent of the wheelchair, they're able to get out. Their caretaker, who usually is the mom or another relative, is able to get out and do things, go to work for one thing. It's just an amazing, life-changing, like I said, life-changing situation. So I would encourage you to get involved if you can. We'd love to have you on the committee. We know that you're supportive of this. It's been going on for as long as it has with your support. So we on the committee really appreciate that. We're going to continue to move forward. We're going to get through this difficult program, difficult time now with the pandemic inhibiting our ability to really do what we want to do. But we're determined that this program is going to continue to be an important one for our club and change people's lives. Any questions? Be glad to answer any questions that you might have. I know you've mostly all heard this before, but I just wanted to be sure you're aware of where we are. The program is starting up again. Yes, Michael?
Is it limited to international, or could you give wheelchairs to communities in the United States?
They have done some of that. Most of the need has been international, although now with the fires and some of the things we've been experiencing, there has been kind of a readjustment to focus some on the needs that we have here as well. But again, usually we have the wherewithal to deal with that here better than some of the developing countries. Other questions, please? Yes? No? Can I say one? No? Oh, wait, I have to say one other thing, one other thing. I mentioned that Larry and I are the ones that were the longest in the program. And like I said, it goes back there. And I really didn't know Larry that well back in those days. And so, and one day we were, at the beginning, we were making a trip to Lansing,go and I didn't know Larry. I wasn't even sure I knew what he looked like. So we made arrangements to meet at this hotel. So and I know, tequila and stuff, and I just didn't know how he would be about drinking or any of those things. I thought probably he wouldn't do that.
Oh,
So we're to meet in the hotel. I go into the hotel and I go to the bar and I say, "Can you tell me where Larry Hannes is?" You're standing on it. And so that's how I knew drinking with Larry wouldn't be too bad. Anyway.
Very funny.
Thank you all for your contribution. You can write checks now for the wheelchairs. We've got one today. That's terrific. Let's continue to do that and appreciate that. President Bill.
Thank you, Dick, for all your work with your committee, all the good you do in people's lives. The district project, each year, the district governor does a project, and he chose to do a wheelchair project. And Dick and the rest of the committee contributed $1,500 from our club to the district project. And Richard Flanders, our district governor, his original intent was to get 1 or 2 containers. And he's up to over 4 now. Now he wants to finish at 5 containers. So there's been a lot of wheelchair support throughout the rest of the district. So sorry, Nancy, a couple of times, but she'll talk fast. Here's Nancy.
Hi, everybody. I'm really happy to be able to share with you a little bit about a scholarship because after all, that is our main reason for our fundraising. And the over 50% of the money that we raise in our fundraisers goes towards scholarships. So first I want to thank the committee. I have Steve Narrett, Larry Ennis, Dick Stafford, Mark Tennis, Jim Hansen, Bill Evans, Dennis Clare, Anshu Matthew, and myself. It's a great committee, and actually the past couple of years it's been tough on us because we couldn't have our face-to-face interviews, and so we had to do it on Zoom. And we made it through. We have figured out the best that we were able to do it. It's important for everybody to remember that these scholarships are not just for any student. We're trying to reach those students who are underserved. And that's one of the toughest group of individuals to reach. That's we have a subcommittee that's been working on other ways that we can get this scholarship application to students who really need the money. So that is the #1 reason for our scholarships based on a financial need. And of course, we do look at student character, school and community service, career and educational aspirations, work experience, and academic record. Many of these students, I might even say most, they're the first student, first child in their family to go to college. So, it's wonderful to see this happen. And we don't just hand students a check at their graduation. They have to present the committee with proof, official proof of registration as a full-time student. So last year, 2021, we awarded our club $61,849 to students. And that is not just through the foundation. We had quite a few donations from club members. So that's wonderful to see. 41,849 went to high school students. A total of 11 students, 7 from Amador and 4 from Foothill. 20,000 went to college, junior, senior, and grad students, and there were 8 students there. And these students are all students who qualified for high school scholarships. So we know that they are financially needy. There are 4 memorial scholarships. Our newest one is Senior Bob Athenar's Global Humanitarian Scholarship. He was, of course, very passionate about raising money for wheelchairs, as Dick said, and going on wheelchair distributions around the world. And he served as a translator for rotoplas medical teams in remote villages abroad. He taught Spanish and French for 27 years at Amador, and in 1983, he co-founded the Pleasanton Tulancingo Sister City Association. He passed at age 91. So we have that special scholarship, and we actually, through Larry's doing, we raised about $7,000 from the various people who donated in Bob's honor. And so the committee has decided each year we give whatever the committee decides for that, for all the students. We add $1,000 to that, so that scholarship recipient receives additional funds. We have the Warren Annis Service Above Self Scholarship. He was a founding member of our club in 1965. He left a long-lasting legacy of service to the community on behalf of the Rotary Club of Pleasanton and individually. He passed at age 93. Again, we do get some individual donations for that scholarship too, and that money that would also be added on to what the scholarship committee gave. There's a Roger Dabney Scholarship. He was an advocate of service above self, and he supported the service activities of the club. He was principal at Foothill High School in 1974 to 81, and he passed away in his mid-50s. And then the Harry Platt Scholarship. He was president of the club in 1973-74, an advocate of service above self, and he had a talent for creating words for songs for special Rotary events. He was a dentist. So we have these special scholarships in our regular scholarship program. We want to thank everybody for their donation and their hard work for our big fundraiser. And of course, we will take any kind of donations you want to give in honor of anybody, any of our special memorial scholarships too. And I have a wonderful committee, enjoy working with them. Thank you very much. Are there any questions? Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy. Being on the scholarship committee is very rewarding. I've enjoyed the time in doing that. And Nancy, and she puts a lot of effort into this. So really appreciate all your effort. Dennis, would you like to come up here and try to give away some money? $72. $72, okay. Yeah, is it gonna automatically be Gilbert? Let's see. 1134. 1134. Julio.
That's the one place I can't turn the camera.
Yeah.
One more chance.
Nope, that didn't work. Okay, let's try again. A lot of tickets. Maybe it's gonna be Julio. 1158. 1158. Jim.
Now. One chip. You're the reason I tell everybody one chip. You can have 5 chips in one chip. Next time. Thank you.
Okay, no winner. We have a rollover.
More
Thank
money
you
next
for
week.
attending today, and this meeting is adjourned.
Can I have Dennis